Hello, 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 beautiful people. How are you today? Today is another episode of Relax and Raunchy Relationship Podcast with me, Ingrid Galloway. And I am accompanied by this gorgeous guest of mine, Silvana Patrick. Silvana is a world-class personal stylist and brand specialist. She founded her boutique consulting company 10 years ago after 15 years working in the corporate world to help men and women unleash their unique style with a fresh and modern approach. Her inside experience in the corporate world and her profound knowledge of the fashion industry, where she worked in a luxury magazine and several fashion houses in a few countries, combined with her understanding of both physical and psychological aspects of styling, translate into very powerful results. And that is what sets her apart from her competitors. She is passionate about helping people portray a consistent image that is in line with all the other aspects of their personal brand, which is very important for the end result. Welcome, Silvana. I'm very excited to know a little bit more about, what you do and the, tips, especially from you, simply because a lot of women, especially, well, some men as well, feeling a bit lost with styling. So later on, I'll ask you more questions. Thank you.
Gosh, that was a mouthful. Welcome for having me here. It's a pleasure to share this space, this beautiful space with you. So yeah, very happy.
Wonderful. And would you like to introduce me a little bit?
Of course, I'll reciprocate the favor. So Ingrid Galloway is the founder, relationship coach, and chief relaxation officer of KAHYANGAN.
Yeah, KAHYANGAN. Very good.
Which means heaven, beautiful. She has been a relationship coach for 12 years and a spa therapist for 22 years. She practiced from KAHYANGAN. It takes a bit practicing.
That's all right.
In Sydney, and from clients' homes, offices, and hotel rooms, online and from retreat locations. Her work has always focused on stress, relaxation and relationships, and always ready to look after loving and not so loving couples and broke, lonely-hearted singles. She does one-on-one coaching sessions, group workshops, virtual retreats, and in-person retreats. Very, very good.
Oh, lovely. Thank you so much for your introduction. Now let's get into it. Silvana, what is your why? Why do you do what you do?
It's interesting, right? I have to give a brief overview of how I got here, because that says, I'm a passionate for fashion. I'm a fashion designer by background. I have a fashion degree. Growing up, that was all I could think of. So I drew sketches and dressed my dolls and things like that. So there was not a backup plan.
Yeah.
My career in fashion grew very fast. When I entered the corporate world, I soon found myself in New York working for a luxurious magazine. Long story short, but the industry didn't sit with me. I didn't fit in for many reasons. We're talking about many moons ago. There was not personal styling going on. I mean, it had never crossed my mind to do anything like that. For many reasons. It was not just because it was a great load, or it was partially because I was not creating anything, but the culture played a huge impact on the decision as well. So went back home.
It can be quite ruthless industry, isn't it? Fashion industry?
Yeah, it can be. And it's just that the load is big. Obviously, there's a huge pressure, but there's a huge pressure on your appearance as well. And I was not even a model. So that kind of thing really got me. So I packed my things and went back home and got lost really for good 2 years. Like I said, I didn't have a backup plan. But one day I said, oh my God, I need to do something, right? I just need to sustain myself.
Yeah.
And then I just decided to get another degree in business, as you do, and eventually enter the corporate world. But the reason why I entered the corporate world without any experience was because I had English, was a huge advantage again back in the day. But I was still with that young stylist mentality. I would dress like a young stylist, and that was not getting me much, like I was not getting anywhere with that kind of mentality. And then again, it took me a long time to realize how important image it is in the corporate world. Particularly, it's important, period, but it is even more important in the corporate world. So once I realized that, and again, it was not overnight, it took me a long time to realize that. Hints here and there, because nobody will ever tell you, oh, you're not dressed appropriately. It's not that I was not dressed appropriately. I was not dressed appropriately for the industry, right? I was just too edgy, or something was not quite marrying.
Okay. Yeah.
You
Well,
understand
you
that
were
word
being
better.
yourself. Isn't it a good thing you were being yourself back then?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's a good point you're raising. So fast forward 15 years in the corporate world. I mean, eventually I figure out, and eventually I conform, and then my career took off, and it was as simple as that. Right. And I have a great example that happened quite recently with one friend of mine. He was a very successful already entrepreneur in New York, and where I lived, I moved back to New York after all that, when I succeeded in my career. So this guy, he looked for me. He was like very successful already, but he thought he could do better. And we tried to figure out how we can improve his image. We went through his wardrobe. We did all the magic there. And he was very deliberate and even created a spreadsheet. And after a few, after a few months, he started to notice that he started to close 25% more deals. And it was really, really, after he improved his image. So that was a really, really extreme case that I like to highlight, because that really, it is such a powerful tool. And not just because people judge us, it's because we feel better about ourselves as well. So it triggers a positive cycle. We relate better to people. We feel better about ourselves. We start, perhaps we stop procrastinating, gym or diet and things like that. So it really triggers a positive cycle and momentum. So that's my why. My why is, it's just that I want to do to people what nobody did for me. I really learned the hard way. I knew how to dress, but I didn't know how to adjust. Because answering your question now, it's extremely important, especially talking about personal branding, that your personality comes forward. But that doesn't mean that it dominates. Unless you are Steve Jobs, right? You can afford to wear a turtleneck every single day. I think if you're in the process of, you're ascending your career, aspiring for a promotion, or getting a relationship, whatever the reason is, could be personal or professional, or a combination of both. You really have to think of who you are interacting. It's not just lose yourself. It's a fine line. I understand, because that happened to me as well. But the consciousness, the self-awareness helps you create a line. Okay, this is me. This is not me anymore. Or whatever the line is you determine. So it's a question of self-awareness at the end of the day. Yeah, that's my why. I want people to have more smooth transitions and not struggle like I did.
Yes, yes. So it's a fine balance between expressing yourself, but also conforming to your industry what needs to be. Well, uh, this is the joy of being a mom. Is sometimes during my podcast I get some
Visits. Visitor.
yeah. Okay. Can you let me do my podcast, please? Thank you. Thank you. Can you go to Daddy, please? Thank you. All right. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye.
I remember those days.
Oh yes, this is what happened. And I don't edit my podcast as well, so this is as real as you get. I'm trying to become no longer a perfectionist that I used to be. So, yep.
Oh, yeah, good for you.
Yeah, this is what happened. Ah, thank you so much for sharing that. It's really important. Yeah.
What's your why?
Yeah, so I came from Indonesia and I came here by the age of 21 to get married to my first husband. One of the reasons why I left Indonesia, not just because, I was in love, I want to marry my husband, but also to escape from my preconditioning. Because guess what? Similar to you, I didn't fit in. So I couldn't express who I was over there simply because I grew up in a very religious family. Not that religion is bad, but it depends on the person to what extreme they want to take it. And I just didn't feel that's me, you know. Indonesian people, generally speaking, have quite a different mindset to mine. That's why my mom said, Ingrid, you're too Western minded to be an Indonesian. I said, I guess you're right. So therefore, when I saw a way to get out of the country, I always wanted to leave the country anyway. Not that I don't love my family, not that I don't love my friends, not that I
Yeah,
don't
of
love
course.
the country. Like I wear it on my tattoo, so that's very tribal. It shows where I came from. But yeah, I just need to feel home being home. And when I came to Australia, initially I was a little bit lost, but then I found that, well, actually, this is home. People's mentality is more like,
There's freedom of expression.
yeah, they can express themselves, not feeling, shame or guilt about absolutely everything. That's what I was looking for. And well, unfortunately, the first marriage didn't work out. 10 years of abusive marriage. So I left after 3 attempts. And then in my self-healing journey, I went to several self-development seminars, saw a couple of therapists, and I went back to college to study counseling and life coaching. And straight away, I knew that I would be a coach, not a counselor. And straight away, I knew that I would be a relationship coach. So my niche would be in relationship and nothing else. So yeah, because I am passionate and compassionate to help others in a similar sort of predicament, I'm very blessed that I, met my second husband, well, hopefully my forever husband.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a very, very good man.
It's very interesting that the why is, I think it's much stronger when it's part of your life,
Yeah.
right? Part of your experience. We went through that. You have a living experience that you can pass on to others. That's very powerful.
Yes. It doesn't mean that, coaches that hasn't experienced some sort of like rock bottom moments cannot be a
Of
good
course, but
coach.
it's all part of the experience.
Yeah, you can definitely, totally be more compassionate, relate a lot better when you're already in the dumpster, however many times over, especially for this particular topic that you are really passionate about. So that's my why. Now I'm helping, broken-hearted singles. Like, hey guys, it is possible to find love again and find a good person. It's
Absolutely.
possible. It's possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He or she is out there waiting for you right now.
Cool. So now I have this next question. heard, many times over. So ladies often complain that they don't have anything to wear. Where
Yeah,
do
the
I
famous
wear?
conundrum. Full
Hmm,
wardrobe with nothing to wear.
I don't have anything to wear. Hence, they buy more and more clothes. However, it can drive their partners bananas, right? Because the clothes take so much space in their
Exactly.
wardrobe
Yeah.
and they become a hoarder starting from clothing. And then the ripple effect happen, and the kitchen stuff, the kids stuff, everything, they become a hoarder. So
Yeah.
do you have 3 tips to have just the right amount of clothing and organize your wardrobe better?
Yes, absolutely. It's a huge problem, and the reason being, I just wrote a book. It's not out yet, but I really interviewed a couple of psychologists on that, and they backed me up on what I already knew. I
Yeah.
just wanted their professional input. It's just we buy compulsively, right? We bring experience from childhood. We
Mm.
either love or hate it. There seem to be not a mid-term right there. You either a compulsive buyer or you hate buying altogether.
Mm.
And that we bring from experience, like I said, from childhood. And there's absolutely no planning when we do that. We just go out there, we're feeling miserable, we want to reward ourselves or comfort ourselves, or we're feeling
Yeah.
absolutely great and we want to reward ourselves. And when you get back home, it just goes with anything else in the wardrobe, like sitting there, with the price tag, not seeing the light of day. That's such a common phenomenon. But it can be fixed with a bit of effort. There's no magical wand. I don't come with a magic. I wish.
Me too. Because my kids sometimes, oh no, mommy, you buy more things from China. I said, I did.
So I think one of the first tips would see, first of all, sort out your wardrobe,
Mm,
right? Just be very impartial. Don't compromise. Just get rid of everything, because we also attached to clothes, but not perhaps just the item itself, but to the situation or who gave it to you or something. We are attached to something.
yeah.
If it really be honest to yourself, look at yourself in the mirror and really three-dimensional. Is it flattering you? Do you really love you? Do you love the item?
Yeah.
And just, if you don't, just get rid of it.
Mm,
Other people will benefit from from having it, from wearing it. Think about letting something go so
yeah.
something else comes. I apply wardrobe feng shui quite a lot, and I love feng shui, right? I apply feng shui in my house, my husband as well. But I use that also to help people detach, because the minute I said it's energy that it's just stuck in your wardrobe, which it is,
Mm.
they start freak out, and they say, I don't want that. So it's a good way to help them let go of the items that
Right.
are not doing anything for them.
Yeah.
So that's the number one. I would just get rid of everything
Mhm.
that you haven't worn in like a year or something. And then
Be
when
ruthless, people. Be ruthless.
Yeah, I think it's at the end of the process, it's good to do every season, but you don't need to go there. You can do, like I said, biannually annually or twice a year, through the cold month and the hot month. Um, and then after that, just organize the pieces in categories and also colors. So you have all your black dresses from
Yeah.
short to long sleeves. So that what that does is that you know exactly where everything is.
Right.
So when it comes to t-shirts and knits and stuff like that, just fold them, don't hang them, because they lose their shape.
Mm.
Yeah, do item, by categories, by colors, and organize your accessories as well. So ideally, we should be able to see everything we have, including accessories. And the bags, like we invest a lot of money on bags, and often I see, my clients piling one bag on top of the other. The shoes, they lose their shape, they get wrecked, right? And buy proper racks. If you have too many, a great tip is to put the opposite, so they
Okay.
fit way more, instead of the pair, just like that.
Oh, for shoes.
Yeah, for shoes, it's a great tip. You just fit as twice as much.
Right, right.
So little things, racks for organization.
Yep.
And at the end, you're just gonna have a beautiful wardrobe, cleaned, organized. And again, Feng Shui is about cleanness, right? It has to be clean, preferably in white, not everything fixed, nothing dirty or needing alteration. Just get done with those. And and then that will make your life way easier, especially in the morning when you're so pressed for time.
Yes.
And we can't find anything. We get stressed. We have that meeting early in the morning. We just put on anything and out the door we go. And then we start to feel self-conscious. I'm not feeling great. I didn't pick the right outfit. That kind of situation that's so common.
Yes.
So yeah, organization, planning, and less is more. These are my 3 top tips.
Less is more. Yes.
Less is more. That's probably gold tip. Yes, you don't need as much, because I'll give you an example. Out of 12 pieces alone, if they're the right pieces, they go with each other. That's why we need planning.
Yeah.
You can make out of this 12 pieces 49 outfits. It's, if we work from Monday to Friday,
Yes.
it's worth of almost 2 months of outfits
Oh,
out
my
of
God.
12 pieces. I'm not even talking about accessories, because then they multiply. So the clothes multiply right before your eyes. We don't need as much as we think we do.
Right. Amazing. As long as you know how to pair them up correctly. So you have almost
And
endless
again, when you see everything, you have a clearer idea of what goes with what, right? And often my clients, after we do that, they start exercising more, because we start the things the same way over and over. Oh, they stop with this dress, they stop with this skirt, this blouse with this pants, and that's it.
Yeah.
But there are infinite ways to style your pieces, right?
Nice.
So yeah, that's why
Very
we
nice.
do much more than we think we do.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing those. Very valuable.
Of course. And I would like to have your 3 tips on relationships.
Sure. So today I will talk about balancing your sacral chakra. So to give you a little bit of background about chakra, if you don't know, or your tribe don't know about chakra, chakras are the circular vortexes of energy. We've been talking about energy that are placed in 7 different points on the spinal column. And today I'm going to mention about sacral chakra, which is the second chakra we have. The color is orange, right? It's location-wise, it's under the belly button, so in between our what do you call pubic area and the belly button. So it's around that area. So this chakra influences your creativity, your gut instinct, and confidence in artistic expression. I mean, in fashion, in dressing yourself up, you need artistic expression, right? So this will relate closely to what you are doing. And you want to help your clients to exude their own confidence. So this influences on how inspired you feel, the general joy and pleasure in life, satisfaction in romantic relationship. Yes, the second chakra is always related to the intimacy and relationship area, and your ability to express your emotions. When it's not in balance, it affects your day-to-day life in many ways. So I'll give you 3 tips on how to rebalance this sacral chakra. Number 1, reconnect with the sacral chakra's element, which is water. So you can take a bath. Oh, I just love having a bath. You can go swimming, or if you don't have a swimming pool or a bath, you can just dangle your feet in the body of water, and that's fine too, as long as you're connecting with water. So water is very, very healing, cleansing, rejuvenating. I just love water. Number 2 is sacral chakra affirmations. So you need to calmly speak positive affirmations, but in specific, I feel affirmations, such as I feel at peace, I feel passionate. We've been talking about our passions, and I feel comfortable with my body. Yeah. Another examples of such affirmations. I am a sexual being. I embrace my sexuality, because this chakra is often, related to the intimate area about sexuality. Or my sexuality is sacred. Or I deserve sexual pleasure, because, we want to have fun and bring joy and pleasure in life, right? And sexual pleasure is one of those things. I have no fear of intimacy, and I deserve to be loved. If your single clients, if your single clients are looking for love, then it starts from within. I feel that I deserve to be loved.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Phenomenal.
yeah,
Very, very good.
with their change of outfits, sometimes it's just not enough to have a change of outfit. It's not enough to attract that special
If
someone.
you don't change the attitude, it's not enough, right? Because clothes is just clothes.
Yeah, it's
So
the outside, so the inside that you need to think about. So if you can recite and write the ones that you pick daily, you don't have to say everything, but definitely I feel blah, 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 affirmation.
whichever
Whatever.
resonates more.
Yeah. And write it, recite it daily, and this action will help rewire your neural pathway and bring them to reality. So what you think about, say about, and action about, when it's match or aligned, then the universe will make things happen for you. So there's the magic.
Yeah.
And tip number 3, because I just love, receiving energy from another therapist, I will say spa treatments such as massage and facial. Touch is very intimate, even though it's not sexual, but it's very intimate. And of course, coaching, I do relationship coach, so coaching. You can get some guidance, from your relationship coach. Simply my encouragement to you is to ask for support or ask for help. And therefore, you can get professional, your own help in balancing this sacral chakra, but also professional help. So those are my 3 tips.
Fantastic. Very good.
Yay! And people, now we come to the fun part of the podcast, guessing the true and false statements. Now, Silvana gave me 2. Silvana once got temporarily lost in the desert, or
Of course, because I'm here.
Silvana flew in private jets straight to runway shows. Woo! Such a jet setter you are.
I just have to mention, for those who don't know me, that I lived in Doha in the desert for 4 years. That's why so that if they don't know that fact, it wouldn't make sense.
I see. Yes, yes. Because you work in fashion, I will guess number 2 is correct. You flew in private jets straight to the runway shows.
Yes, correct. But because people who know me, they probably think it's number 1, because that nearly happened. Nearly happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're correct. Number 2. So when I was in Doha, I had to get the outfits and stuff straight from the runaways to my clients' chicas. So it was pretty hectic but fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So what an experience. Private
Oh
jet.
yeah, I'll have stories to tell my grandchildren now.
Lovely.
So your true and false. So Ingrid's father bought her little one, little one something for their housewarming party, had turned the parents bananas. Number two, Ingrid's friends bought her little one something for their housewarming party that turned the parents bananas.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And let me clarify, the little one was that one that disrupted.
That makes sense now.
Yes, that disrupted our podcast temporarily. So that's the little one.
I'll go with number one.
Number one, okay, my father. Well, you are incorrect. Simply because my father passed away when he was 51, by the age of 51, so very young.
Okay.
So back then I didn't have any kids, so he didn't get to meet his grandkids.
Oh,
Yeah. That's okay. So number two is correct. We just moved to this house recently, and then we had our housewarming party, and I was busy, entertaining everyone, food and everything, games downstairs, and the kids tend to go upstairs, in the bedrooms, and God knows what they're up to upstairs, but they're busy. And after everyone went home, we went upstairs, obviously, and then we saw in her bedroom, oh my God, colored textile everywhere. So permanent marker everywhere, in her bunk bed, in her sheet, stickers everywhere, in the bed,
Oh
on the wall. My husband said, oh my God, who on earth gave this child a colorful permanent marker, a full set of permanent markers?
Oh my God.
So like he was like, oh, he almost pulled his hair out. This is the thing. She is such a random child, and full of shenanigans, this one. We call her Hurricane Harmony. Yep.
The youngest. Is she the
Yeah.
youngest?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was the youngest. I was pretty much the same.
So that must be the youngest shenanigans.
Youngest syndrome, yes.
Yes, syndrome. Yes. So yeah, now some stuff are clean, but sometimes because some stuff, because it's permanent marker, it's permanent there. So there you go. Thank you, friend, whoever you are. We still don't know who gave those things, but yes. We can see the damage, definitely. Right. So we come to the last question, Silvana. What do you do to either relax or add raunchiness into your relationship?
I'm a very active person. I'm always on the go. My mind is very spins fast, and also I'm a runner. I run. I've been running for a long time.
Yeah.
But like I exercise quite a bit. It's a great way to relax for me. But on the other hand, I need to actually relax, distress, and also I do a meditation regularly too. My mom was a yoga teacher, so she taught me meditation, and I grew up in this very peaceful vegetarian yogi household, and so I have both worlds. My dad was an athlete and my mom was a yogi, and so I have the both of them. So yeah,
Great.
I think it's a fantastic way to find balance for this crazy life we live in.
Yes, definitely. Fabulous. So people, we come to the end of our collaboration. Thank you so much for watching our collaboration together. next week, definitely there will be another fantastic guest coming along, sharing their tips, either about life or relationship. And also, Silvana, if people would like to connect with you, ask more questions, how can they do that?
Or you can enter in touch with me through the email silvana@silvanapatrick.com, Silvana with an I. Or you can visit my Instagram. I'm pretty active on Instagram, Silvana Patrick _stylist. I share lots of tips there. So if you're interested, check that out. And yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for having me. It's been a pleasure to speak here with you.
No problem. And people, if you would like to chat more about relationship stuff, you know, you can ask for a free chat with me, free half-an-hour chat. Just go to my website, www.kahyangan.com.au. That's KAHYANGAN.com.au. And if you like this podcast, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Ingrid Galloway, and hopefully we'll see you guys again next week. Thank you so much, Silvana, for coming to my podcast.
Bye, everyone.
It's a blast.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for your wisdom as well.
Thank you. Bye-bye.